We're excited to bring you the latest insights into attention-driven design and pathways to pipelines, or ADD P2P for short. Today's episode is extra special because we're diving into the book that started it all, Attention-Driven Design and Pathways to Pipelines, written by none other than Dr. Malik Stalbert.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready to dive into something totally different today?
Absolutely, should be fun.
We're talking all about attention-driven design.
Or ADD for short.
ADD. And how it's changing the game in education.
Yeah, it's wild stuff. In a world overflowing with distractions, how do we make learning captivating and effective? That's what ADD is all about, right?
It's like, how do we make learning as gripping as that latest show everyone's binge watching? We're wading through this ocean of information these days.
Right, and our brains are just trying to keep their heads above water.
This awesome book, ADD and Pathways to Pipelines, is going to be our guide for this deep dive. It's full of ways to make learning really stick.
What I find super interesting is how ADD actually mirrors our own evolution. Our ancestors didn't survive by just sitting and listening to lectures, right? They survived by actively engaging with their world, learning, adapting, constantly solving problems on the fly.
So you're saying our brains are hardwired for action, not just absorbing information.
Exactly. And that's ADD's genius. It makes learning feel as crucial and engaging as, say, figuring out how to build a fire or hunt for food back in the day. It triggers that primal instinct to learn and adapt, which we still have in us.
Okay, I'm on board, but how does this look in a real classroom? Are we talking swapping textbooks for survival guides?
Not quite, but picture this. You're learning to code, but instead of slogging through those dry manuals, you're tossed into a virtual world. You have to use code to crack a mystery or escape a virtual escape room. That's the kind of immersive, hands-on experience ADD aims for.
I can see how you'd totally forget you're even learning. It's just a blast.
Exactly. The book calls it the AAA Framework Application, Action, and Amplification. Learning by doing, reflecting on what you did, then diving deeper.
So it's making learning fun and making it work.
100%. Think how much more engaged you'd be in history if you, say, role-played a historical event. You're living history, not just memorizing names and dates.
Total game changer. Like hopping into a time machine instead of just reading about it.
Right.
We've got this awesome ADD foundation making learning captivating. But how do you structure it into an actual course? The book mentions Pathways to Pipelines. What's that about?
Pathways to Pipelines, or P2P, is where it gets really cool. Think of it like a series of well-designed paths guiding you through a learning adventure.
Like you're on this grand quest, and each path unlocks new understanding.
You got it. A super unique part of P2P is its focus on storytelling. It's not just info dumping, it's weaving it into a story that clicks with learners.
Example time. How does storytelling play out in a P2P course?
Let's say you're taking cybersecurity. Instead of drowning you in jargon, it starts with a story about a hacker breaking into a super secure system. As the story unfolds, you learn key cybersecurity concepts and techniques. It's like you're part of a digital spy movie.
I am here for that. Learning by osmosis, almost. You're hooked on the story and the information just seeps in.
That's the magic. And to make it even more immersive, P2P uses these things called context avatar tokens.
Hit me with it. What are context avatar tokens? Should I be excited?
All right, so imagine this. You're conquering cybersecurity challenges in the course, and as you master each concept, you get badges or tokens that show your expertise.
Okay.
But these tokens aren't just virtual pats on the back. They unlock cool stuff like personalized feedback from experts, access to exclusive online forums, even real-world internships or mentorships.
Hold on, so it's like leveling up in a game, but instead of a high score, you're unlocking real-world opportunities.
You nailed it. It connects virtual wins with tangible rewards, making learning way more meaningful and motivating. And guess what? There's more.
There's more.
The book talks about legions and realms dynamic, gamified spaces where you collaborate with other learners, tackle challenges together, and earn rewards as a team. It's all about feeling like you're part of a thriving online community while mastering valuable skills.
Okay, legions and realms, that sounds next level. But how do they even start to use this in real life? It sounds pretty complex.
That's where this 8-year case study they talk about in the book comes in. They actually use P2P in real classrooms and kept track of what happened.
Okay, give me the details. What kind of results did they see? Did students actually remember the information better, or was it just more fun?
Both, actually. Students in the P2P courses were way more engaged than in traditional classes.
How so?
They were more active in discussions, more likely to do the assignments, even spent extra time checking out other resources. And get this, their exam scores and overall grasp of the material were way higher.
That's impressive. Proof that it actually works. Like, you can succeed by just playing games. But let's be real. Not everyone's into gaming. Were there any students who just weren't feeling the whole P2P thing?
You've got a good point there. The book admits that while this gamified approach can be amazing for a lot of students, it's not for everyone. Some people learn better in a more traditional setting.
Right, makes sense.
And that's perfectly fine. P2P is all about being flexible, recognizing that we all learn differently.
So it's about finding that balance, making learning fun and effective, tailoring it to different learning styles.
Exactly. Creating a learning environment where everyone feels challenged but also supported, no matter how they learn best.
Now that's something I can get behind. Empowering all types of learners. But this feels like it has implications beyond just classrooms or online courses. What's the bigger picture? Where does this all go?
That's what's so exciting. This approach isn't just about making school better. It's about equipping people with skills for a world that never stops changing.
What kinds of skills?
We're talking about collaboration, thinking critically, adapting, solving problems, stuff that matters in every field, in any job.
It's not just about passing a test, then. It's about how to thrive in the real world, to roll with the punches and solve problems creatively.
You got it. It's about building that mindset of lifelong learning, always excited for new challenges, always growing your knowledge and skills.
It sounds like P2P is creating this tiny model of an ideal society where collaboration, creativity, and never-ending learning are what matters most.
Right, and that's what's so inspiring.
Wow, this is pretty mind-blowing. But I have to ask, are there any downsides or hurdles to actually using ADD and P2P on a bigger scale? It seems almost too good to be true. So are we talking educational utopia here, or are there some bumps in the road to getting P2P up and running?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And the book's honest about some of those potential problems.
Okay, like what?
Well, a big one is infrastructure. To use P2P on a large scale, you need a ton of technology, training, and resources.
So it's not as easy as just saying, let's gamify everything. There's a whole logistics side to figure out.
For sure. And then there's getting everyone on board, teachers, administrators, the people making decisions. It's a huge change from how we usually do education.
It's like turning a giant ship around, right? It takes time, teamwork, and a lot of convincing.
Exactly. But what's exciting is that the book talks about some really cool solutions that are being developed to address those challenges.
Oh yeah, like what?
Like open source P2P platforms, virtual reality and augmented reality tools, even blockchain tech being used to create these decentralized learning systems.
Yes, so for every challenge, there's an equally cool solution in the works. That's good news. This deep dive has been amazing. As we wrap up here, what's the one big takeaway you hope listeners walk away with today?
You know, what really excites me about ADD and P2P is this. They make us completely rethink what learning is all about. It's not just sitting back and soaking up information. It's diving in, getting your hands dirty, connecting it to your own life, and using it to make the world a better place.
It's about empowering learners to be creators, innovators, problem solvers, not just people who memorize facts. Well said. This deep dive has been a total eye-opener. If you want to learn more, definitely check out ADD and Pathways to Pipelines. It'll change the way you think about learning. Thanks for joining us on this adventure into the future of education. Keep those minds curious, and we'll see you next time.